Alright, doing another video here on a gun. Funny thing is, I think I've already made this video more or less. But you know what? My channel is stupid. I make crappy videos that are unedited. And they're terrible videos. And so you know what? I don't care if I make the same damn video twice. uh, so I wanted to do this video about my high point 9mm carbine budget setup. And honestly, I got this thing, and I'm not one for buying cheap guns. I will pretty much always buy a brand name, you know, whatever it may be. And you know, my other guns are like I have a Glock, of course, Glock 19. I'm trying to cut down on my guns. I had 7, and I sold one, so now I'm down to 6, which I'm very happy about because I felt like 7 was just too many. It just annoyed me having so many dang guns around. And you know, I have a Glock. I have, what do I have? Well, my AR I built out of quality parts. I built it like Palmetto State Armory and Anderson Lower. What else do I got? I got a Ruger Wrangler, which is kind of on the cheap side, but it's still a good gun. Got a North American Arms Mini. I've got a what else? I got this thing. Am I missing one in there somewhere? Probably. Oh, I've got a Ruger LCP. I guess most of my guns are. Most of those are like $200 guns, but they're quality. The Ruger LCP is quality. I've pretty much maybe had like one malfunction with my Ruger LCP in hundreds of rounds. You know, I pretty much never had a malfunction with this thing. Maybe one, I think. I can't remember. You know, same with all my semi-autos. I basically, to speak of, had zero. You know, no malfunctions. I think I've had like one out of this guy out of hundreds of rounds, which I think might have been the magazine or something, and you know, that's about it. So yeah, just this is a high point, and it's got the red ball 20 round magazine. If you don't know, I talked about it in other videos, but I can recount it again. The magazine situation on this high point is weird in that it comes with a 10 round magazine, which for a carbine that you want to plink with is no bueno. And the situation on high capacity mags for it is surprisingly grim. There's only a couple made. One is a pro mag that's like a 15 rounder that sticks out in but it oh it's a 15 rounder, I think, and it looks normal, but in it High Point says it voids the warranty. So I don't know what's going on with that situation, but they say don't use it, and if you do, I'm not sure how they know, but they say it voids the warranty, and they said it damages the feed ramp or the feed lips or something. So the High Point's no bueno. I wouldn't use that. And then, so the only other real option that I knew, at least at the time, like 6 months ago, whenever I was going through this situation, maybe a year ago, was these red ball. You can see the nice R branding. And I thought they were super ugly at first. Like, I didn't even want to get one because it was so ugly. But honestly, once I got it, now I actually think it looks awesome. It's really weird. Maybe you have to be in person or something. I like how it's forward swept, you know? And another thing is, at first I thought that this was like just literally 2 duct taped magazines together. But if you look at it, it's not. It's solid here. This is one long metal part. It's not 2 separate parts with an elbow like it looks. The elbow is just to stop it, I guess, from going further in the mag well and whatnot. So it's one piece. That's nice to know. Not a big deal, but and like I said, I actually started to somehow really like how it looks. Like I said, maybe it's an in-person thing. So if you hate how they look, maybe try buying one, and you might like it. I like how it's forward swept. It seems kind of aggressive, you know. I like it. It reminds me of like a hiccup. It reminds me of like an AK-47 mag or something with the forward banana sweep. So yeah, those run. I think they're about $25 online, but I was just pricing one out actually, kind of for this video. And the place I saw had them. I don't remember who, but cheaper than dirt might have been. But they were like $25. And I checked out shipping to my place in Texas. And it had like $7. Because one bad thing about magazines is even if they're $20, $30 online, A lot of times you'll pay like 10, 15 bucks shipping because Amazon doesn't sell magazines. So every little rinky-dink hole in the wall kind of overcharges you on shipping. So you're often paying 12, 15 bucks or something stupid for shipping. So if you find a $30 magazine, it can end up being really $45, you know. But this was, I think it's about 25 is the actual price, and then it was like 7. I think the total came to like 31 something to Texas, which isn't bad. That's with shipping to Texas, you know. So 30 bucks basically for the magazine. Then the scope, I have another video on that as well. It's the Monster Tactical 1x4. And like I've said in a lot of other videos, I love me some scopes. I like scopes on all my guns. You know, scopes are my thing. I just find them so much more fun to shoot a gun with. And I really like these 1x4s since I've discovered them. And I've got a review up on this Monster Tactical on my channel if you want to look at it. And it's a nice scope. It's not, you know, great, but I got it for 99 bucks with some cantilever mounts and scope flip-up scope covers. It's like 80 bucks just the bare scope with some ring mounts. I ended up using some my own ring mount, but what ended up happening is the cantilever mounts didn't work with my setup because they didn't work with this Weaver rail. So I ended up not using them. I ended up not using the flip-up covers. Again, you can watch my video on the scope for more details on all that stuff because they fit kind of floppy and I just didn't like them. So I didn't end up using either of those, but I still got the thing for 99 bucks. I mean, I should have got the $80 version. It would have been even cheaper. Because I didn't end up using either of the two extras that the extra $20 gets you, which is the cantilever mount and the flip-up covers. It also comes with these covers, which is what I ended up using. It also has a light-up reticle. You can tell from the red numbers. It has red and green. I don't care about stuff like that, but if you care, it's nice to have. I don't even use it. Yeah, 99 bucks for the scope. It's a Monster Tactical 1x4. You know, like I said, it's not the best scope in the world, but it works. Especially at the 1x power, it's clear. You know, good eye relief. At 4x, the eye relief is kind of, you know, I've also mentioned I have a Vortex Crossfire too, which is hardly the highest end scope in the world, but it blows this thing out of the water. And it has much better eye relief, much clearer glass. But this, for the price, I find it fine. I find it good. I actually kind of like it. I think it pairs well. I think you want to put like cheap stuff on a cheap gun. I don't know why, but that just thematically kind of appeals to me. You know, so get your, you know, there's no use putting a $500 scope on something. Not that I own a $500 scope, but there'd be no use putting a $500 scope on a $250 gun here, in my opinion. So I just like the theme of going with inexpensive stuff for inexpensive guns. So I think the Monster Tactical, you can find them on Amazon Scope, is good. You know, I've been liking mine. So yeah, the total in this gun, I got this gun for $249 at the gun show. I think it was a year and a half. I don't even remember exactly. Probably 2 years ago, a year to 2 years ago, something in there. Now the last time I was at the gun show, I noticed this was pre-coronavirus hysteria. But I noticed it was the same guy was selling it. He's a very big distributor, has a big table right at the beginning of the show. And now he's got them for $279. So I see they had gone up 30 bucks since I bought mine. But I got it for $249 at the gun show, which is an amazing price. I love it. You know, I'm kind of wary of a cheap gun, but I haven't had any malfunctions really. Like I said, I think I had one. You know, but it runs like a top. It's so fun. It's so fun to plink with. I love it. I think it might be my favorite gun somehow. I mean, granted, I would never want to I would never choose it over my AR to take into a war or something. Not least because of the less power of the rounds. But I just love it just as a fun piece, you know. It's really fun to plink with. It's fun to shoot. It's just, I've mentioned that too. I don't like this little butt pad, and other people have mentioned this in the high point too. Because you end up squeezing it against your shoulder, in my opinion, and it starts moving around. And the top will move like and the bottom won't and stuff sometimes, or the bottom may move and the top won't. It just gives you a inconsistent, like, cheap feeling. You know, there's a video on YouTube about how to take these springs out. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I really need to. There's a video how to take these springs out and re-put it back together so that it's solid and you don't have this little weirdness here. Like I said, it seems good in theory, like it's kind of a springy butt pad that would reduce recoil. But in practice, I just find it spongy and annoying. Like I'll put it up against my shoulder hard, and like the top will go in, but the bottom won't, or something, or vice versa, whatever. It'll go in uneven sometimes, and it just gives it a weird feeling that I don't like, cheap feeling, whatever you want to call it. So I need to get around to taking those springs out. Like I said, there's a video on YouTube that you can surely Google about how to take the springs out of the high point butt plate and put it back together, which is solid. But yeah, so if you add those up, $250 for the gun, you could get the scope for $80 with just the rings, which would be fine. I have a little riser on it too. So I guess if you figure $10 or whatever for the little riser, it would come to $100 for the scope, $250 for the gun, $30 for the mag, so $380. Add $10 for the riser. You're under $400 for this whole setup. And you can go even cheaper if you just got the $80 scope instead of the $100 one, which is, I already mentioned why the $100 one's not a good value. There's some point to it. To me, anyway. If you can, well, if you're planning to put on a high point anyway, because the cantilever rails don't work on the high point rails, because it's a weaver. I took the back side off to put the scope on it. I've left the front side on for now, but I can take that off too if I want. So yeah, and I just wanted to make this because I was kind of excited I was going to get a Ruger PC Charger, you know, they came out with the new 9mm pistol, but then I saw a video that was kind of knocking the PC Charger, and he was saying various things that kind of, at first I was really excited about the PC Charger, and I really wanted one, but I'm not so sure I'll get one now. This video is on TFB TV if you want to see that. You know, the guy's kind of a snob sometimes, I think, this particular reviewer, but he did mention some good points, like the Charger it has one of these assemblies like a takedown Ruger 1022 where you, or like a PC Carbine where you can lock the front assembly into the back. He said, you know, that's just one more point of failure, that it changed, like, since the sights are on the front part, I believe when he rested just the front part on a rest, it changed the point of impact. I guess it shifted the whole thing a little bit. That's kind of disturbing. You know, it was only like an inch or two. And as he kind of forgave it and said, you know, the point of this gun is not to be a tack driver anyway, so it's not a big deal. But it was kind of iffy to me. And, you know, as he mentioned, he said it was heavy. By the time you put a stock on it, it's like over 6 pounds. And this guy is about like 5 pounds, I think. This is a true carbine. It's one of the things I really like about it. Because if you look up the definition of carbine, it means a small light rifle. And you look at like a Ruger PC carbine, it's as heavier than an AR. And that's one of the main reasons I didn't buy one of them. It's also like $300 more expensive, but I can get by, you know, I can pay that if I felt like it. I just wasn't excited. I don't like how the PC carbine looks. I may still get one of these days, but I don't know why I'd have 2 9mm carbines either. And it's also heavy. That somehow bothers me. Heavy and long. You know, like I said, the definition of carbine is light and short. The PC carbine is the opposite of that. It's basically as big as an AR, but it only shoots 9mm, which I don't care. That's not the point of getting these, in my opinion. The point is cheap centerfire ammo for me and fun plinking, you know. And this would make a great home defense gun too, for that matter. But yeah, I love this setup. I love it. And the thing about the PC Charger that I kept rambling on about is, you know, the TFB TV guy didn't give it that great of a review, and it kind of turned me off. But it's like $599. The MSRP on it's $799 just for the pistol. This is no stock, no brace. Oh, another thing the guy knocked the PC Charger for is it's not good to use as a pistol because it's weirdly weighted. You know, like if you're just using it as a pistol, the weight's all in the front or something, etc. But the PC Charger MSRPs for $799. Ruger tends to set their MSRP really high, so you know the street's gonna be a lot low. The street price on it's probably going to be $599 though, apparently. If it's not $650. I mean, right now I don't know what the situation is if you can even get any guns. So, but I think that the street price of the PC Charger is probably going to settle around $599 is what I was thinking. Because it was like $650 according to these gun videos, and they always overestimate. I can get them online cheaper than what they always say. But yes, I'm guessing that it'll settle out. You know, maybe one day even cheaper than that, but for now, I'm guessing that it would settle out about $599, as I said with the coronavirus. But then you have to buy a brace, on a stock of brace, because it's a pistol. So you're looking at, I was pricing those, they're like $160. So you add $600 for the gun, $160 for the stock. You're at $760. You know, plus tax, you're at $800 plus right now. With that, I got this all in for under $400. You know, granted, if you added tax, it would have been $380 plus, let's say $40. It'd be like $420. But It's still less than half, you know. And like I said, I think there may even be something else to buy with the Ruger. I'm not sure if the braces come with the little dongle that goes on the butt that the brace attaches to. If they don't, that's probably like another 100. I don't know how braces work. I don't know if they come with like the thing. I don't know what you call it, but there's like a base pad that goes here, and then the stock actually clips to that. I don't know if braces are like all in, like for $160 you get that part too. But if not, that's another guaranteed $100. I think they do come with that, I would assume. But oh, and I've seen somebody say like, oh, the High Points don't like high capacity magazines. I've not had any issues with this Red Ball. It's run fine for me. And other than that comment, I've never heard. I've always heard they were reliable, so I don't quite get that. The only jam I had, in fact, was with my 10-round magazine. I took note of it at the time. I mentioned the one jam I've had with this thing, and that was with the factory 10-round magazine. Like I said, I kind of made a mental note. So, you know, since I've got the Red Ball, it's exclusively what I run, and it's functioned flawlessly. And all the other stuff that I've run with the 10-round has functioned flawlessly, but that one jam. So yeah, I love this gun, and like I say, you can get this whole package for like $400. I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a High Point, and it has these ugly, but I actually like how it looks. You know, it's kind of almost like part of its charm or something. Like this is a gun that could be in like Mad Max movies or something, you know. I don't know why, but it just kind of appeals to me in a way. I would like to get a CZ Scorpio. That'd be like my Scorpion, I guess. Evo, I think they're called. But those would be running about $1,000. I think they're like $780 without the brace online. And so I'm sure you add in a nice brace and you're looking at $1,000. But you know, you get what you pay for and all that. Those seem to be like the baddest carbines out there. I do want one, but I'm not sure if I'll pay $1,000 for it anytime soon, especially since some unforeseen home expenditures came up. And but yeah, here's the I highly recommend this if you're looking at the sweet new PC charger or the Evo or any of these 9mm carbines that are coming up. You know, this guy is a great option. Maybe the X-Star EP9, I've been thinking about that too. It might be a slightly better option, I guess, but who knows? I can't speak to it. If you don't know, that's like a $420 AR9 style pistol that gets good reviews and everything. And you can only buy it online. Google that, X-Star EP9, and it's $419. Then you got to figure $20 shipping and tax and your FFL fee, transfer fee. You know, you're going to be looking at $500, but it's still cheap. But yeah, like I said, if you're looking at the new Ruger PC charger, instead of spending $800 on that thing, maybe just consider this High Point. I really like it. I really had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, it's like my favorite gun to shoot. It's almost like addicting to shoot. I don't know why. But ammo's cheap. You can get 9mm. Well, when you could get 9mm for like $18 for a 100 pack. You know, it's close to half the cost of AR ammo. If you're not buying steel anyway, even then it's much cheaper. But this is like comparing brass 9mm ammo to brass. I don't run any steel in my guns. It's just a personal thing. I don't shoot enough to need to save the money, and I just am kind of OCD about stuff like that. But I shoot like the cheap target ammo that's brass case, like the Remington. I think it is green and white boxed, and the UMC or whatever it is. Is that a brand or is that a Remington sub brand or something? Anyways, but yeah, you can get the UMC or the Remington stuff at Academy for, it was like, you know, it'd be like $17.99 for a box of 100. They usually have some kind of 100 rounds of 9mm on sale for cheap price. And it used to be even cheaper at Walmart. When Walmart still sold the 9mm ammo, it's sad that they don't. I think at a time that it was like $16.74 or something for 100 rounds of 9mm for the Remington green and white box, I think it was. And Academy is like $1 or $2 more. It was maybe like $17.99 at Academy. And of course now it's all out the window because you can't get any anyway. But so I'm just saying that's the reason why I really like the 9mm carbines. They're fun to shoot. They're just so fun. They're almost like a granddaddy 22. To me, I've explained this on videos before. But I don't really like plinking with 22, except for my Ruger Wrangler, because that's just fun to shoot a single action gun. But I don't really like plinking with 22. I had a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, and 22 just doesn't do it for me. And I know like the Yankee Marshall, another or a famous gun YouTuber, has mentioned that too. Like it just doesn't. It's not fun for him to shoot 22 long rifle. I feel the same way. There's just something like the center fire is just so much more fun, just because I guess it's a bigger bang or something. I don't know, but like I said, I had a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, which is their 22 that looks like an AR, and I sold it because it was just like, okay, meh, you know. Now I kind of want one again, though. But let's not talk about that. But yeah, so I find I just have a lot more fun shooting my AR or any centerfire around, really. And I also find like the Glock boring to shoot. I mean, it's fine, but it's a Glock. I find handguns boring to shoot. Let's put it that way. Again, except for my Ruger Wranglers, because I like that crunchy click of the single action. You know, that click. I don't know why, just that action. I love it, and the old schoolness of it. So that'd be the exception. But most cases, I don't find handguns that fun, and I don't find rimfire rounds that fun. But I find like, so that's to me why I like 9mm carbines so much. And people going, oh, what's the point of a 9mm rifle? You can just put together an AR pistol. It's the same size, firing more powerful. First of all, actually, I was wondering, is that true? Because once AR pistols get small enough, that round is only going like 2,000 FPS, isn't it? I'm not sure. But anyways, and now you're talking about a 55 grain bullet at 2,000 FPS. Isn't that like a 22 Magnum kind of? Probably just stirred up a bunch of fanboys or something. But no, I mean, I get it. I like AR too. But yeah, I was just going through kind of why I like 9mm carbines. And like I said, if you've seen the hot new PC Charger or anything like that, just let it be known this High Point is a great deal in my opinion, and a great gun. And this whole setup, which is pretty much the way I want it, is about like $400. Can't beat that.